they will first try to identify the title. They will go with the title. And then they will go with the other parts. They will go with the introduction and they will go with the other things. But that is not the case. When you are writing an article, it should be from downwards to upward. And the downward, it means the first thing, that is the statement of the problem. In fact, many of the research scholars, they generally contact me with saying that, okay, this is the title on which I would like to go for my study. And even the research scholars, they will come with the title saying that, okay, I will be contributing my manuscript, my article on this and this topic. Now that is what we have been mismanaging ourselves. Your title, your abstract, your keywords, this should be the last part of the article. First, go with the problem. Based on the problem, try to find out the objectives. Try to dig out what literature that has been there. And of course, the moment you are highlighting your objectives, you can go with the methodology that needs to fulfill your objectives. And then your analysis, discussions, findings, sessions, and conclusion. Whatever literature that you have used, that comes into the references. If at all you would like to acknowledge certain things, acknowledge it. But the title and the abstract, it comes to the end. Why it comes to the end?
आज 11वी आर्ट्स आणि कॉमर्सचा इंग्रजीचा आहे का? उद्या आहे ना?
Hello. So, this title and abstract, it should always be at the end of the article. It should come out. Then when you will be framing your title, at the end of the day, when you will be finishing the entire manuscript, when you will be writing the conclusion, then you can come out with a good, catchy title. So always try to frame your title at the end of the article. Your article, when it comes to the title, it should be very much catchy. It should be concise, accurate, and informative. And it is always assumed that the moment you will be going through the title, the moment you will be reading the title, the readers should automatically come to know that what is there in your article or what topic you have highlighted. So mostly, when it comes for this article, it should contain the keywords that has been there. It should give it should also give the other aspects of the article. And most important, the keywords. And the another aspect of the title is that whatever title you are giving, that should not be too lengthy. A short but sweet article, but a catchy one, using the appropriate word to describe the content. That could be important. And try to make the article more precise in relation to the topic. Now come towards abstract. As already I've told you that many of the articles generally are rejected based on after reading the abstract only. Many of the authors, many of the scholars, they don't know what to write into your abstract. The abstract is the most important part of your article because it is summarizing all your ideas. The abstract, after reading the abstract, you should come to know what is there in the article. Because it is this abstract only which is used by many of the journals, many of the index journals to disseminate the ideas among the scholars. Take the example of many of the indexing databases. They won't be giving you the full text unless until you have been subscribed to it. They will be just proceeding with the abstract. And based on the abstract, the readers or the audience, they will decide whether to go with the full text or not. Generally, many of the journals, they will restrict the number of words for the abstract. It has been assumed that the abstract of the article should be of one page.
Become curriculum host.
काय करायचं गोष्ट आहेत ना
When it comes for this
गोष्ट व्हायचं का
No, then you host it.
abstract, it should have a combination of certain things. The abstract should highlight the problem. The abstract should highlight what methodology is used. Not only that, but it should also highlight the main finding and its implication. That is what it has been expected. Even though if you are getting with number of findings, it is not expected that you should highlight each and every finding into the article. You should elaborate the entire methodology that is been adopted. You will just highlight that, okay, this was the method that has been adopted for conducting this research. And at the end of the day, it was found that give one main finding more than sufficient. So automatically, the abstract will fit into the range that is given by that particular journal. It may be around 200, 300 or 350 words. Nowadays, if you'll be going towards the journals, many of the journals, they will just give you the structured abstract. See, now they have been fed up of going through the lengthy articles, lengthy abstracts. If you'll be seeing the journals, the policy of the journals, now they have come out with an abstract, structured abstract. In the abstract only, they will highlight certain points. Purpose. Describe the purpose in one line. The methodology that is being used, 1 or 2 lines. The findings, 1 or 2 lines. And the conclusion and implication, 1 or 2 lines. More than sufficient. They have come out with the structure, and that is why that has been called structured abstract. That is one kind of move that is being made by the journal editor to assist the scholars in writing the abstract. Because it is always said that the first impression is the last impression, and the first impression it has been given it has been made by you people with the help of your title and abstract. So it is also important that what we should not include in the abstract. And this, everything that I've been highlighting over here is based on my experience, which I'm getting in my day-to-day life. As an editor, as a reviewer.
हॅलो
Hello.
हा सर आवाज येत नाही
Hello. आता येतो?
हा थोडा आवाज जरा मोठा करा
एकच मिनिट. Fine.
येस
आता
सर
आहे?
हो सर येस सर
Fine. So, what we should not include into your abstract? In the background information. Don't include any of the unwanted information into your abstract. Your references should be there into your literature, but not into your abstract. Avoid always incomplete sentences. Abbreviations, figures, tables, references, it should not be there into your abstract. It should be there into your main content. Many times it happens that the scholars, they're using ICT in the abstract. Don't use the short forms, the abbreviations. Whatever abbreviations that you would like to use, the moment you will be starting the introduction, from then onwards, you can go with your abbreviations. But try to omit the abbreviations or other things from your abstract.
Grass.
At the end of the day, whatever references that you are using, use it in a proper way. Mainly the standard style of references you can use. Nowadays, APA, MLA, or Chicago, that has been heavily used. But most of the journals, they do have their own style of references that needs to be done. If at all you would like to communicate your article to a specific journal, just before communication, try to download or try to go towards the publishing policy of that particular journal. Or see the latest issue and see what kind of referencing style is being used. Accordingly, you can modify. Each journal is having a different, it is not necessary that you should go with the APA or with the Chicago. Some journals, they have come out with their own style of reference. More than each subject, they do have their own style of reference. So try to adapt that. It will help you in making a good impression when you are communicating the article. These are some of the do's and don'ts. I think most of the things that has been highlighted already. But yes, the spelling and grammar correction needs to be there. That you have to do it. Nowadays, many ready-made tools are available. Ensure proper consistency in the flow of the subject. When you are moving from one para to another para, when you are moving from one theme to another theme, when you are moving from one heading to another heading, there should be a proper connectivity. And once you have been completing everything, don't keep your manuscript towards yourself, but try to share your manuscript with your friends, to your teachers, to your scholars. Because the moment you have been drafting your draft, you have been drafting it from your own angle. But when you are giving it to a fresh eye, to a third person, he will try to read that particular content from his perspective, from his point of view. And that will be a critical analysis. And when it comes to the don'ts, there is a list of don'ts you can see on your screen. Do not misrepresent yourself. Or does not include anything that doesn't answer the question. Be specific to the questions, the problem which you would like to solve. Be specific to the objective that you would like to, that you would like to achieve. Unnecessary information will again increase the length of the paper, which might be again the reason for rejection. And lastly, the word length. Now the question will arise that, okay, fine, after going all these things, what could be the journal, or how to identify the good journals? Straightway, I will say that any of the journal, any of the publication which has been indexed into some of the indexing databases, that could be good for the publication. Because when it comes for such kind of databases, it could be Scopus, or it could be in the Web of Science. Now again, the Web of Science, they do have a different databases. Science Citation Index Expanded is there. Previously, it was Science Citation Index. Now it has been expanded. The term has been added, expanded. There is another one, Social Science Citation Index, and Arts and Humanities Citation Index. So based on this, you can have your own journal. Or even though if the journal is not indexed in this, it could be some other databases where it could have been indexed. Nowadays, many of the databases, they do have their own indexing databases. As in the library science, you can have the LISA, Library Information Science Abstract. There's the indexing database. Biological abstract, chemical abstract, sociological abstract, the DOJ, it is the indexing one. Because all this indexing, they do have a peer, the journals which has been there, they do have a peer review policy. So if at all, if you are coming across any of the journals which has been indexed, you can say that it could be the best instrument for your publication. But when you come across any of the non-indexed journals, it will straightway tell you that the journal is of low quality. And it could not be better for you to go for the publication. Now, when it comes to the low quality, that could be n number of reasons. We are not going to go with this. But yes, try to publish in a journal which is indexed and which is supposed to be the scholar. Of course, seeing the time, I think I can skip this scholarly journals and peer review. But yes, when it comes to the peer review, this is the term which has been actually used by many of the in many of the regulations which has been published by UGC. And I have been witnessing that many of my friends, particularly the teachers, they will have a different opinions when it comes to the peer review. When it comes for any of the journal, that has been written on the title on the page that it has been peer review journal, having such and such impact factor. But it is not always true. There are certain parameters which needs to be find out, which needs to be there. And then we can say that it is actually a peer review. Of course, when it comes to the UGC's regulation, it has been clearly mentioned that any of the article which is published in a peer review journal or UGC care listed journal do have certain weightage of marks. And when it comes for actual claiming of the marks, the expert, they straightway reject the article, giving a 0 marks, saying that, making a comment that which is not a peer review. So what actually is a peer review? So peer review is nothing but it has been reviewed by your own peers, your own colleagues from the same subject in order to establish the quality of the publication so that it could be finalized whether the article is to be accepted or it is to be denied. So that is why they have been called peer review. But when it comes to the peer review, you will find that it will have many of the what you call it is been generally given when it comes to the policy of the journal. And when it comes for this article, if you are going towards the articles that have been published in this, from there also you can just come out whether the journal has adopted a peer review or not. Now, how you are going to distinguish and how you are not going to distinguish, that I'm going to cover when it comes to the predatory ones. But right now, here you can say that when it comes to the peer review, it undergoes the various process. The peer review process, it starts right from the first step. The moment you submit your manuscript, it will start. The editor-in-chief, he will go for the suitability of the manuscript. That itself is the first review. The moment he will review your article, he will find whether the article is suitable or not. That is the first step in peer review. The moment he will be going towards the plagiarism or similarity check report using various softwares, it is the second step. And when it sends the manuscript for the review, there is another actual review policy, the review process that undertakes. That is what called the blind review process. Blind review. Now, when it comes to the blind review, the identity of the author is been removed by the journal which is having a peer review policy. Mind very well, the identity of the author is never revealed to the persons who are actually undergoing review. When it comes to the single blind review, the manuscript has been sent to hardly one expert. And based on his impression, based on his comments, the decision has been made whether to accept or whether to reject. The double blind, mostly it has been adopted into social science and humanities. It is given to the two authors. By removing the identity of the authors, it will be sent to the experts. And after receiving the comments, the same comments have been passed to the authors. Even when the comments have been sent to the authors, the identity of the reviewer is not been revealed. And the triple blind review, that means sending the article to the three experts, mostly this practice is being followed by the journals which have been indexed in Scopus and Web of Sciences. Apart from this, there is another review policy which has been identified. One is the open peer review and the other one is the transferable peer review. Whereas in the open peer review, the identities are revealed. The manuscript has been kept open, and any person in the world is able to make his comment. He's been able to review the article. So here, both the identities are revealed. Who is the author and who is the reviewer? Both the identities are revealed. That is called the open peer review. And transferable peer review. Sometimes it happens that the editor accepts the manuscript and he proceeds to the further step, that is, he sends it to the reviewer. The reviewer also reviews the manuscript. He's also of opinion that, okay, the journal article could be accepted. But at the end of the day, when it comes for the actual publication, they find that the article is not suitable for that particular journal. So in that case, they will just ask the author to transfer his manuscript to some other journal where he is likely to get published. And that's what called the transferable peer review. Of course, at the same time, the scope is also being defined. We know very well that each and every journal, they do have the various scopes. Some journals are local, regional, national, international. But all this, it depends on the languages that is being used. The scope, where it is being distributed. From where the authors they are making their contribution. If majority of the authors, they are from the Maharashtra only, none of the authors are from the other states. Naturally, it could be said it is a local, regional one. But yes, if at all, some of the authors from maybe Karnataka, Kerala, West Bengal, or maybe from the northern part of the country, if they are contributing, they say it's national. If the readers are found to be everywhere in the part of the country, it could be national. Or the members of the editorial board, if they are from the every corner of the world, it could be international. But at the same time, not only the editorial board, it defines the scope, but at the same time, the readership, the authors, that also one has to. Each and every criteria, once it matches, then and then only the scope is being defined. Now, particularly, I have given here the indexes. At the last moment, I have added this over here, seeing the comments from the Godke sir, Kakade sir. Just a minute. Hello. Huh? Hello. Hello. So what do you mean by H index? As you could see that H index is nothing but it's a total number of citations that you have been received for making a publication. Actually, this H index has been devised by H.E. Hirsch in the year 2005. It is very simple. If you'll be seeing towards this graph, manually also you can just draw your H index. Mostly nowadays, the Google Scholar, it will give you the H index. Wherever the number of articles and the number of citations corresponds, that is the H index. It is that publication, the number of publications where you are getting more than 10 citations. That's item. And G index, it is something different. It was defined by Leo X in the year 2006. As you could see in the first paragraph, in the first column, I have highlighted the number of articles. In the second para, I have given out the total number of citations for individual articles. And the third column, I have been adding the number of citations each day. See, the first article, it has got 84 citations. The second, for second paper, I have got 20 citations. So 84 plus 20, 104. So likewise, the addition is going on. And in the third column, the square of the number of articles that has been added. For 1, it is 1. For 2, it is 4. So like that, you will have to match. You will have to go with matching with the square root and the cumulative citation. And wherever it corresponds, that number of articles is your G index. So many times it happens that your G index is more than H index. But reverse cannot be the same. The H index is never greater than G index. Lastly, I will highlight about the pre-test journals, because nowadays the pre-test journals are very much talked into our subject. Actually, these are the journals which are been following some unethical practices, and they are very easy to identify. Some journals, as you could see in the renowned journals which have been indexed in some of the databases, they do have a specific number of articles that is published in a particular issue. Here you don't have that much limitations. N number of articles have been published in a single issue. There is no limitation. Limitation in number of pages, limitation in number of words that have been used, nothing. And more importantly, whatever manuscript that you have been submitted, they will immediately publish it. Maybe within 24 hours, maybe within a week, and so on. Now, when you are coming across such kind of journals which are immediately making their publications, giving impact factor on the title page, that are called the predatory journals. Because these journals, they are not undergoing any of the peer review process, even though they have been highlighting on their title, on the cover page, that it is a peer review, it is an international journal, but that is not the case. Because completing the entire review process within a 1 day or within a week, it is not possible for any of the journals, any of them. An impact factor, it comes to the journal after 3 years of publication. You cannot have the impact factor right on the very first issue or on very first volume. It has a formula to calculate, and the authentic impact factor that is been published by Thomson and Reed. Many of the journals, they are the clone journals. There is one journal in the Hindi called Judy Khayal. It is one of the most reputed journals in the subject. But with the same title, with the same name, the another journal that comes for the publication. That is the clone journal, having the same title. So these are some of the journals which have been also called by the other names called fraudulent, deceptive, or pseudo journals. And that is the reason why the UGC has come out with the various initiatives, UGC Care. Fortunately, the headquarters is at Savitribai Phule Pune University only. And this is working on the guidelines that has been given by the Committee on the Publication Ethics. And the scope is committed in educating the editors, publishers, researchers, universities who would like to follow the ethical practices in the publication. For them, the scope is being worked. Apart from that, there is another list which has been published worldwide. One is called the Cabell's Blacklist, and the other one is the Bell's List. This list also gives you the most authentic journals. Even the Bell's List, the actual librarian who has come out with the Bell's List, he has passed away in the year 2016, but his work is still being continued. As and when some new journals comes into and falls into this particular domain of predatory, it has been updated. Now, when we are talking about the predatory, these are some of the factors. These are some of the types where we could find the research misconduct. Of that, the most prominently found is the fabrication or falsification of data. We use the same data. Already the research has been conducted and we are using the same data again and again. We are making some fabrications. We are having something different data in our hand and we are putting in front some other data. Plagiarism. When you are interpreting the data, we are interpreting it in a different way. We need to obtain ethical approval by the research ethics committee. Research ethics in doing the experiments. Maybe the scientific community, they are more involved in doing some experiments on the animals, on the plants. And then it is mandatory for them to take the approval for doing the research from the ethics committee. They fail to do this. Inappropriate claim of authorship, that is one of the type of misconduct. A student all the time is doing the research and some other will publish the same research on his own name. Or the same research is being published again and again using different name, that is called the duplicate. Even some conflict of interest are responsible for this misconduct. And the consequences that is being there by the society, by the research fellows and by the public trust and government policies.
हाँ कड़क वाले ना
The society is unable to get the proper findings. The fellow researchers, they do not get the proper credit. And based on the policy, based on the findings, the government is unable to come out with the policies. The good policies, that could be the consequences. There's a factors which has actually pushed the present faculties in committing this research misconduct is here. Pressure to publish. Every now and then we have been asked to publish so that you may get through the career advancement, or your student may get the pathway to publish or to submit his thesis in the university. There's always a pressure being mounted. Pressure to publish in a good journal or anyhow make a publication. For grants also, many of the college management, they are after the teachers to go for the grant. They will be heavily pressurized. Lack of supervision, inadequate training, you can say the lack of knowledge about the research and publication ethics and poor research culture. These are some of the reasons where we find this as one of the reasons for committing research misconduct. So with this, I hope I've covered a lot. Also, with this, I will take a rest. I'm really thankful to the audience for listening me patiently for last, I think, more than 1 hour. And also hope that whatever components that has been incorporated into the presentation, even though few components there seems to be a basic one, but yes, they are the need of the day. Because whatever I have experienced, maybe when I'm evaluating the proposal for the college level or whenever I'm evaluating the articles, all these questions comes in front of me. So that was the reason why I thought that this could be the better platform to highlight all these issues in front of me. So thank you one and all. If at all you will be having any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I don't think there could be any question from the audience. Thank you.
Anybody from audience? Any questions from audience? Sir, kindly. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for giving informative session about how to construct and write a good research paper, and it will publish in various platform. Thank you for enlightening us a various aspect of skill for research paper writing and publication. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. With this, I will take your leave. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you.
Today, our today's second research person is on Professor Nagaraju Padishala. Nagaraju Padishala, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Professor Nagaraju Padishala is working now librarian and accuracy coordinator at Government Degree College, Huzurnagar, District Suryapet, Telangana State. He is the renowned personality in our library and information science profession. Now he has got good accuracy coordinator award from his district place. I request to Professor Nagaraju Padishala sir, kindly deliver research person talk to our audience. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I really thankful to the Professor Dr. Shahaji Gaikwad sir, Principal Arts, Commerce, Science College, Jalna District, and Dr. Gopal Kakade sir, Principal Arts, Commerce and Science College, Beach, and Professor Dr. Sadanand Bansode sir, today's resource person. Sir has delivered a wonderful and elaborative and information session for this workshop. And I really thankful to Dr. Shivashankar Gumare sir, librarian, and I must thank to Dr. Gopal Sagar sir, librarian of Bede College. Is my screen is visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. Fine.
Okay, it's fine.
Actually, our today's the resource person, Dr. Bansode sir, has delivered extensive session on today's topic, that is skills for research, paper writing, and publication. Now I want to explain a few basic things related to research, paper writing, and publication. So I must. This is a program, and this is a one-day workshop organized by the linkage of MSP Mandals Arts, Commerce Science College, Killi Dharur, Bede District, and MS Samstas Arts Science Commerce College, Jalna District. And myself, I am Nagaraju Padishala, librarian and IQAC coordinator for the Government Degree College, Huzurnagar. It is located in Telangana state. So today's talk on skills. there are certain skills are required for the research, for doing research as well as paper writing and the paper writing scripts to be published in the right place. So for this, we have to require skill. The skill means expertise. That means the ability to do something well. Doing a thing in a normal way is called not skill. That is not skill. But the ability to do something well or something good is called skill. The ability to present ideas and arguments in a clear, concise, and logical manner is a critical skill for academics in all disciplines. So, as a researchers or as a faculty members also, we must master in our skills. So for this, doing many works at a time is better than doing one work many times. That leads to mastering that particular skill or that particular subject. So what is research and why it is important? So research is all about undertaking studies to address problems which humanity faces. So we are facing a lot of problems around us, and to address these problems, to solve these problems, everybody has to, as a educationist, as a academicians, we have to conduct research to overcome those problems. So in education and research communication is done through the publications in scholarly works. So the research is important to expand the knowledge, and the research gives latest information, and research builds credibility to the organization as well as the individuals. Research introduces new ideas to the world, and research helps in problem solving. So various problems we have and we must overcome by the doing research. And it also encourages curiosity among the researchers and among the human beings. So why publishing research articles is important for all of us? So ideally, it is to communicate and share the new discoveries in various subjects to improve the quality of life. And more often, the publishing research articles is important to be advanced in the field of your research area or any subject area, and to get the research funding or any grants. So ICSSR grants were allotted, and UGC also given grants to the research. So that the public, based on the publications, based on the quality of the publications, we will get research funding or grants. And to improve the scientific impact of institute, or it also helpful to the individuals, and it will give more recognition by the peers. So research paper writing, to write a research paper may feel intimidating at first. After all, researching and writing a long paper requires a lot of time and effort and the organization of the work. However, writing a research paper can also be a great opportunity to explore a topic that is particularly interesting to you or to us. So the research paper allows you to gain expertise on a topic of your interest or your choice, and the writing process helps you remember what you have learned earlier and understand it on a deeper level of your concerned subject or your interested area. No matter what field of study you are interested, you will most likely be asked to write a research paper during your entire academic career. You have to write any research papers during your academic courses. Conducting research is fundamentally solving a problem, but if you trace it back further, you have to learn how to identify the problem through the literature systematically, find the gap and design a study to solve that problem. It shows that you are a critical thinker and you are an innovative personality. This is a sort of a skill in any industry, particularly in a leadership position. So the various steps are involved in research paper writing. Choose a suitable topic for research. It should be a novel idea or it should be a burning topic, and it should be a good topic, or it should be to solve the various problems involved in the society. We have to choose that topic for our research. Plan and schedule time to research and writing. So it should be planned to do the research and paper writing also. A realistic and flexible timeline can also help to avoid stress and delay and scope of our research work. A clear timeline will produce a quality of research paper and a quality of research work. So conduct quality research. So for this, we have to find an issue that we can focus, and a variety of sources. We have to inquire a variety of resources which are available on World Wide Web or journals or research publications. We have to inquire and we have to clear research on our topic. So after all these, we have to draft a good writing and attractive presentation for the paper writing. And after completing and revise and edit the paper. So after all these, we have to publish in high impact journal. Will give the credibility, will give high impact to the organization and to the individuals. So these are the steps involved in research paper writing. So we must remember a good article is one that must be read and cited by the peers or cited by the various readers. So we have to answer these 4 questions as a academician or as a resource person, as a researcher. So what is the research? We have to clearly explain what is the research is in introduction part and what did you do. So for this, we have to understand various research methods. So we have to clearly mention what type of research we want to do and what did you find. So we have to explain what did the results. So various results and various outcomes will find, and we have to mention those results, and we have to answer the research. So what does that mean? We have to explain in discussion part. So we have to answer these 4 questions to become as a good research worker or good academician. So these are the parts of manuscript. Sir also explained intensively for all these. So I will skip. And parts of the manuscript is title, and this title should be catchy title and should be clear and should be crisp in a manner. So abstract. So abstract also it should be in a paragraph. It should be 200 to 300 words. It should be explained good and clear of the topic. So introduction, we have to mention introduction about the research topic. So various methods. What are the methods we have used for our research? We have to clearly mention in the methods. And after the research completion, we will get some results. Those results should be mentioned in the manuscript or article. We have to mention discussion part, and we have to mention acknowledgements. So whoever the help to for the work, we have to mention in the acknowledgements part. So we have to mention the references. Each reference must be described in detail at the end of the article. So we have to remember title, keywords, and abstracts are helpful for electronic searches. During electronic searches through the internet, so we have to clearly mention our title, our manuscript title, keywords, and abstracts should be clear for the searching purpose. So various skills, I already mentioned skill. So various skills are required to do research and to writing and publications. So these are the skills required. So research skills, under the research skills, information retrieval. So be proficient in searching and finding relevant sources. What are the relevant sources available in databases or search in libraries, and as well as online resources. So be proficient in searching the required information in these available resources. So under the research skills, we have to critical analysis. So we have to develop the ability to critically evaluate the quality and the credibility of the resources available. And we have to conduct literature review. So we have chosen a topic and we have to understand how to review and summarize existing literature on your particular topic. Whatever you want to do research in your topic, you have to clearly understand how to review the existing literature. So some other writing skills are required for the research and publication and writing the article. Under the writing skills, we have to clarity and conciseness. So write clearly and concisely, and we must avoid jargon. Jargon means typical words. We must avoid jargon and unnecessary complexity in the article. Under the writing skills, we must understand the organization of the article. So we have to structure our paper logically with a clear introduction, literature review, and methodology. What are the methods applied for the research and results, discussion, and the conclusion. We have to clearly organize step by step of these points to become a good researcher or good writing paper. And we have to understand citation and referencing to know the citation style required by your target journal. Various journals are asking for separate referencing styles for their journals. So we have to understand what is the style of the journal. We have to understand how to present that reference style. We have to understand various reference styles required for that journal. So some other examples are APA style, MLA style, and Chicago styles are the available referencing styles. So we have to clearly proofread our articles, our research papers. So pay close attention to grammar part of the article, spelling, punctuations, and formatting of the research paper. So we must proofreading and clear attention on the reading works or journal works. So some other skills, research method skills are important as a researcher. So research design, we must understand and we must learn how to design experiments or studies effectively to conduct research. So some other ethical considerations are required So understand research ethics. What are the research ethics are there? We must understand and we must consider. So if we take some science experiments, we have to obtain and we have to inform the consent. We have to take consent from the human subjects. Some other, if it will we if we not take permission from them, it will lead to some other law issues, criminal issues. So we have to take permission uh, from the response. So we must understand ethical considerations and we must understand the data collection tools and how to analyze the data. Be skilled in data collection methods and statistical analysis relevant to your field or your area of subject. So these are the data collection tools are included. So those are interviews and observations and case studies and surveys and questionnaire, etc. So these are the some different methodologies can be used for data collection and data analysis. So these are the data presentation skills. So we must understand and we must aware of graphs and figures while submitting while writing the paper. So we have to create effective graphs, not general graphs. We have to create effective graphs and figures to present data visually. And we have to create some tables. We have to design tables that are easy to understand the audience and complement the text. Whatever the text to be addressed, that must be applied, that must be added in tables in a simple and easy to understand to the readers. And we must understand the collaborationship. So co-authorship. If working with co-authors, we have to maintain effective communication and division of responsibilities in the co-authorship. If we take peer review, be open to constructive criticism and feedback from peers and mentors. We must take feedback from the peers and mentors. So some other interpersonal skills to be required as a, so they are persistence. Rejection is common in academic publishing. Many times we submit papers to the journals and they rejected. So this is generally happened. But be persistent and learn from feedback. So whatever they mentioned in that journal, so whatever the missing subjects, missing components, we must understand, we must reconstruct them, we must avoid them and resubmit to the other journals if necessary. So we must be persistent. And we have to build networking after conferences. So attend conferences and workshops to connect with researchers in your related field and seek mentorship from experienced researchers and keep up to date with the latest trends and developments in your particular research area. This will highly help you in your academic development. Patience. As a researcher, you must have patience. The publication process can be time consuming and it takes a lot of time. So we have to maintain patience and perseverance. These are the interpersonal skills should be required for the researchers. And some other technical skills we must understand. Those are copyright, understand the implications of open access publishing and copyright agreements with the various publishers. And we must understand patents. While not traditional scholarly publications, patents are important in fields like science and technology. The patents protect the intellectual property of inventions and include detailed descriptions of inventions. We have to understand the concept of plagiarism. To check plagiarism with appropriate software only. After completing our article or our paper, we must check with plagiarism software. So some examples are Turnitin, Authenticate, and Plagiarism Checker and Quillboard. These are the examples for plagiarism software. So various types of research reports, we must understand they are informal, inform or instruct present information in this type of research report. So readers find the details of events, activities or conditions. So investigation report is example for informal research report. And analytical research reports written to solve problems. So information is analyzed in analytical report. Conclusions also are drawn and recommendations are made in analytical report. And another one, persuasive research report. An extension of analytical report is persuasive research report. Main focus is to sell an idea or a service or a product. So proposals are the most common type in persuasive research report. And some other types of research reports are incident report, accident report, sales report, progress report, feasibility report, recommendation report, situational report, and research report. So research report is to study problem scientifically, analyzing that problem, developing hypothesis, collecting the data, analyzing the data, and drawing the final conclusions from the research work. So these are the skills for journal selection to submit our manuscript in research paper for publication. Select a journal that is good fit for your research. So always familiarize yourself with the scope, impact factor, and guidelines of potential journals. Sir already said now, the various potential journals, they standardized formats for their journals. So we must understand them, we must understand that standards, and we must follow that standards to publish our journals in that famous journals, popularized journals. So we have to write a covering letter to the accompanying to our journal submission and follow the journal submission guidelines meticulously. We always follow the various guidelines available for the popular journals and be prepared for revisions and respond to the reviewer comments professionally and thoroughly. Always we have to ready to respond to the reviewers. And after completing our paper publication and where to research work is published. So books are available to publish our research journals or research articles, and conference papers is one of the sources to publish our research papers. Monographs are in-depth and authoritative books that focus on a single topic. They are often written by leading scholars in the field and are used for reference and in-depth study. And thesis and dissertations, these are the research projects completed by the students and while not typically published in journals, they are scholar works and are often available through university libraries. So these are the places to be published our research works. So I conclude with this small session. Scholarly publications are a critical part of the academic and research process as they allow for the dissemination of new knowledge, the exchange of ideas, and the verification of research findings by a broader scientific and academic community. So we always, as a academician or as a research scholar, we must seek guidance from our mentors, colleagues and information resources specific to our field and continually refined our skills will increase the chances of our successful publication in various popular journals. So remember that writing and publishing research paper is a skill and that improves with practice only. So we always practice and we always applied and we always learn whatever the skills are available and whatever the skills are required are useful to our professional growth. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for this opportunity given to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sagar sir.
Thank you. Any questions from the audience? Okay, no question from the audience. Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you,
accepting
Anindal.
our invitation and given and enlighten us today's topic, skill for research, publication, and writing. I am very much thankful, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Dr. Gumbre, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we conclude.
Yes, of course.
Okay, we are moving to last part of the national workshop. Vote of thanks. I feel an immense pleasure to take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks on a multidisciplinary online one-day workshop on skill of paper writing and publication. I am very much thankful to today's resource person, Honorable Professor Dr. Sadanand Bansode, sir, Professor and Head Department of Library and Information Science, Savitribai Phule University, Pune, for accepting our invitation as a resource person of this event. He spared his valuable time from his busy schedule and enlighten us. I would like further extend hearty thanks to Professor Nagaraju Padishala, sir, librarian and accuracy coordinator, Government Degree College, Huzurnagar, District Suryapur, Telangana State.
प्रतिष्ठान घेतलं तर सबमिट करतो म्हटलं का बघा ना ते त्यांच्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीवर तुम्ही होतो नका काय सांगा
Sir, kindly
बघतो काय
sir
आज
has
घेणार
delivered
आहेत ना
extremely informative session.
मला नाही माहिती मी तुमचं पण नाही सबमिट केलं आय डोंट नो फोटो काढून द्या मला
Kindly mute mic. I express my deep regards and gratitude, Honorable Dr. our beloved Principal Gopal Kakade, sir, and Honorable Principal Dr. Shahaji Gaikwad, sir, who encouraged us and providing an opportunity to organize such event. I am heartily thankful to Dr. Shushankar Gumbe, sir, to give always cooperative and inspiration to conduct such kind of event. My deep sense of appreciation to all of the participants for their huge response with great enthusiasm and make it grand success of this event. Lastly, but not the least, I am very much thankful to Dr. Ananta Gade, sir, and Kumbare, sir, to give us technical support and broadcasting this national workshop. I also thankful to those who have supported directly and indirectly for the grand success of this event. Once again, I thank you all for being with us. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. All the participants are informed that feedback link of this workshop sent in WhatsApp group. Kindly fill up for e-certificate. Feedback is mandatory for e-certificate. Thank you.